Hello, welcome back to Raw FPL. So in this one, it's the Game Week 24 first look. So we'll be going over how I did in Game Week 23, which, yeah, finally a green arrow, albeit quite a small one, but I'll definitely take that. Yeah, it wasn't the best start to the game week, but ended up alright with Foden, absolutely smashing it at the end. So yeah, we'll take a look at how I got in Game Week 23, and then we'll look at some transfer plans as well, because there are some injuries starting to crop up in my team, and then we'll also look at how I'm going to navigate the double game week and the blank game week in 26. If you do like it, please do drop a like and please hit subscribe, and let's jump into it. Alright, so this is the game week 23. So I started just outside the top 700k and I finally climbed back into the top 700k now, so still not ideal. The two big red arrows from the last two game weeks, I still need to make up some ground there, but you know, it's a green arrow, so it's a good start. It's still slightly unlucky, I feel. If you had Konza, you'll share my pain. How he goes to try and head the ball, he then hits the post, and then he comes off injured in the 58th or 59th minute. So he got the 1-pointer when it would have been a clean sheet. Alexander-Arnold as well. I think he went off in the 58th minute. Which, to be fair, going forward, I mean, he's coming back from injury, so I think, going forward, I think he should be okay. He obviously got 58 minutes, so hopefully he can get past the 60-minute mark next few games. And Gabriel, that was a bit of a roller coaster as well. I wasn't expecting too much, but I definitely didn't want a -1. He was obviously unlucky to get that own goal, and then he nearly got an assist. I don't know how he didn't get an assist. Really, it must have hit who was it? It must have hit whoever it was. But yeah, the -1. Not the best, but I'm glad to have him still. West Ham, Burnley, Newcastle, Sheffield United, and Brentford. So they're all upcoming. So yeah, it's the back line again. Total of 2 points between the four of them. Dubravka, again, Luton have seen just a different team now, don't they? Conceding 4. So yeah, I mean, going forward, it's just the defenders again. I think the back line got about 4 points last time. Now a total of 2. So yeah, the back line could have done better. But anyway, moving forward, the midfield. So Gordon, again, I just felt a bit unlucky there because I brought Gordon in. We thought he was going to play striker. And then he goes off injured at half time, obviously. But luckily he got the assist. So yeah, 4 points for Gordon. Hoping it's not too bad, although there was a tweet going around where he's there in a protective boot. So it doesn't look great for this game week, but we'll have to wait and see what Eddie Howe says just on the injury front, because currently, as you can see, Konza and Gordon both flagged, and my bench is not in a good position there. Although I actually did come on, he did actually look quite good. So losing 5-0, you thought Wilder might change up a bit, so hopefully Archer gets his place back, because he did look good when he come on. But yeah, so Palmer, he got the goal, just continues to deliver. Happy to have him, although he does blank in 26. But this is a reason why Richarlison, I've not gone for him, just because he's added another headache. Because obviously he smashed it this week, got the brace and the 15 points. But yeah, with my bench, if you have a good bench option, like I know a lot of people, they've got 8 attackers right now. So if you've got a good bench, then you could potentially carry him through. But it's just added another player who blanks in 26. So for now, I'm not getting him, which could fail massively, because I think he's got 9 goals now in 8. So yeah, Richarlison isn't in the team. Saka returning, he's happy to have him. Bowen again, what's he got now? Yeah, he's blanked in the last 4 games. He doesn't even look. He had 1 good chance, didn't he? Yeah, he doesn't look great, and he's got Arsenal away next. On Arsenal at home, sorry, but yeah, still, Arsenal are one of the hardest teams you can play. So I think Bowen, yeah, it could be time for him to depart. Foden, he saved me really right at the end, and I know a lot of people would have benched him. That's another reason I just hate having these benching headaches, which is why I like to put them all my money into the 11. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On this occasion, it did, because a lot of people I know benched Foden. So he came on with a hat trick, absolutely smashed it there. And then Watkins and Haaland. The Haaland move hasn't gone brilliant. Obviously brought him in last week, got the 1-pointer. If I didn't bring him in, I would have had Solanke last week. And he got like 12 points, whatever he got last week, didn't And then Watkins, I would have captained him, but still, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? Watkins, 18 points, and Haaland with the assist as well. But yeah, Haaland, he played 85 minutes, didn't he? So there's a lot more than I was expecting, to be honest. So Haaland, Foden, and Kevin De Bruyne, to be fair, they all look pretty good, and the minutes are encouraging. And also, if you own Alvarez, it's a tricky one now because he played the full 90 as well. So yeah, Pep's shown that he can play all of his attackers. So yeah, I think right now if you don't have Haaland, you're trying to get him in. I still think he's definitely a must-have going forward anyway. But it's just hard because a lot of people, they might have to get rid of Alvarez. But yeah, we'll come on to that a bit more in the transfers. So yeah, that's the team. 73 points, up to just inside the top 700k. So yeah, let's have a look at some transfer thoughts. Okay, so these are the early transfer thoughts. I know the deadline's not till the weekend, but this is what I'm currently thinking. As I said, I've got a couple of injuries coming up with my team. So I've got Konza, who went off injured. He looks like he could be out for, he says, could be more than 2 games. So yeah, I don't really want to get rid of him. But we'll have to wait and see on the injury update when the press conference happen later on in the week. So I think Konza is going to probably have to go. If not, I'm definitely going to have to make some sort of defender transfer just to cover. Because, yeah, my bench has got a couple of injuries on. So it's the ones I'm looking at. Trippier, he's been very popular. Yeah, he got 9 points, didn't he? Even though they conceded 4. And their upcoming fixtures, Forest, Bournemouth. I mean, Arsenal's all great. And then Wolves. So they've got pretty decent fixtures up and coming. They have been pretty bad. I think they're the bottom 3 teams defensively. So yeah, Trippier, and I know you can get quite a lot going forward. But yeah, I just think for me personally, I'd rather go for either a Man City defender because they double in 25 and then they also don't blank in 26. So I might be looking at getting a Man City defender. But my problem is I've got Konza, who's 4.5. Well, I think it's 4.6, but I can sell him for 4.5. So I need someone around that price. So I might get Guardiola or I might get Reguilon, because Reguilon doubles and he doesn't blank. And also Brentford will play in 29, so it gives me sort of options. So yeah, potentially Reguilon. But yeah, Gordon, as I said before, he's gone off injured. There's a photo of him there, going off in a protective boot. So yeah, I think if you've got Gordon, if you've got good cover on your bench, I think you're fine. You just bench him. If not, you just have to wait and see because you don't know how bad it is right now. So we'll have to wait and see what Eddie Howe says. I do still think Gordon's good from a defensive point of view. The fixtures are, they're not the best defense, but attacking wise, I still think they'll do really well. Moving on to Darwin Núñez, then obviously got that record for 4 woodwork shots. Probably not a record you want to see, but it does show he is getting in some good positions, and he's got the potential to be so explosive, isn't he? You can just see a 20-pointer incoming soon, so he does look really good. I think if you are on a 3-4-3 setup, Darwin does look quite good coming up. He's got Burnley at home next, and then he's got the Brentford and Luton double. The only thing is he's going to blank in 26. So he's got the double in 25, then he blanks in 26. So you need to have a plan, or you need to have some good substitutes just to cover that afterwards. So because I think it's going to be too much change in my team, I've sort of committed to the 3-5-2 formation now. I don't particularly want to sell Watkins, so I think I'm going to have to leave Núñez. But yeah, I really like him. If you can fit him in, I think he's a good one. I'm a little bit scared, not going to lie, that I'm going to have to go without him. And then people will be looking here, they'll be thinking between Solanke and Watkins, because I think you need Haaland. He's definitely a must. Darwin looks really good, and then most people have got either Watkins, Solanke, or Alvarez. But yeah, we're going to know a lot more in the upcoming days, because when Aston Villa, when they play in the cup later in, I think it's a Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. If they lose to Chelsea, then they will play in game week 29 because they won't be in the cup final. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on Wednesday. And you might still want a free hit in 29, in which case it doesn't matter. But it's good to leave your options open. And then Solanke, there is potential for double game week 28, which I mentioned last time. So just says here, look. So yeah, it's now been a bit more likely. So possible double game week. Again, this is from Ben Krellin. If you don't follow him on Twitter, definitely recommend you do it because he's just really good at identifying the double game weeks and the blank game weeks. So yeah, 26. That's going to be a blank for Luton Liverpool, as we know. 28 there. Solanke could have a double against Sheffield United and Luton or Crystal Palace. Sheffield United and Luton. Luton will have Crystal Palace or Bournemouth. So I think, again, just try and hold on, get as much information, because if Solanke does double, you want to keep hold of him. But equally, you could just bring him back. So that's something I'm looking to do. I've obviously already got rid of him for Haaland now, so I might just potentially swap Watkins for Solanke if this double is announced. One player I'm looking at there, and he's already gone up in price, I think he's actually 8.1 million now, is Jota. So he doubles in 25, he's got Burnley at home next in 24, but then he does blank. So you just need to be really careful how many Man City and how many Liverpool players you're bringing in. I do think you still want as many as you can get, but just be aware that, if you've got the likes of Richarlison and Palmer, and lots of people have got Porro, they blank in 26 as well. So you need to be really careful how many players you've got and how many substitutes you can cover. You can obviously do hits and transfers and things, but it's best to try and keep them limited. But yeah, I think Jota, Salah isn't back yet, so I'm trying to sort of hold on and wait, because if Salah's back for 25, I'd ideally want Salah. But Jota looks so good at the moment. Burnley at home, Brentford and Luton the double. It's just, I definitely need some sort of Liverpool attacker here. So if you can get Jota or Nunes, I think you 100% need to do it. And then there's the Liverpool defenders that I'm looking at as well. So I've got Trent. I'm happy to have Trent. I think he's fine going forward. If you have Trent, you definitely keep him. Burnley home, Brentford and Luton, you just can't get rid of him for that. And then if you don't own, I think Van Dijk could be an option, because he's just, if there's any player across Man City and across Liverpool, to be fair, if there's one defender who's nailed, it would be Van Dijk. And with those fixtures, you could easily see him getting 2 clean sheets there, maybe even a goal. So yeah, I think Van Dijk could be a good option and one I'm considering. But it depends on Salah. If Salah's, if he's on the bench for 24, for example, and then he's fit for 25, then I'll want Salah, in which case Van Dijk's going to be too expensive. So yeah, again, just wait for more information. We'll get some press conferences in the week. Hopefully we get an update on Salah's injury, and we'll take it from there, really. And then the Man City boys, a lot of talk on them. Obviously Foden coming from the back of his hat-trick in the game last night. Haaland, I don't know how he's risen again. He's 14.2. Gets transferred out by millions of players, and a few 100,000 bring him in, and he's now 14.2. So yeah, he's on the rise. De Bruyne's on the rise. I think Foden's now actually 7.9. So yeah, unlucky if you transferred him out. And I do think if you benched him, it did seem quite a good decision, because I know a lot of people were benching him for the likes of Gordon, which Gordon's fixture, and we didn't even know if Foden was going to start. So I do think that probably was the right choice. It's just unlucky that he went and got that hat-trick. So yeah, don't beat yourself up about it if you did do that, because looking back, I still think it was the right decision. And yeah, I think this is my ideal triple up, to be honest. Pep showed last night that all three of them can play well together. They won 3-1 as well, so that's encouraging for him. So yeah, I think it's probably Haaland essential. I think Foden, just for his, he's so much cheaper. He's only 7.9 million now. So I'll put him second, and then if you can, De Bruyne 10.8. So yeah, I'd say that's the orders. But for my team, I think it's likely going to be Jota that I'm going to get. So probably Jota, and it's probably going to be Bowen making way. So let's just take a look at that. So yeah, if we look at my team then, so my current thinking is 4.4 in the bank, but 1 free transfer. The defensive situation, yeah, it's not ideal. So unless Cons are going off injured, ideally I want to wait and just see, because apparently it could only be 2 games. So it could be 24, 25, and then he's there for 26, which is, when I need him. So yeah, I might just wait, but I think I'm probably going to have to do some sort of defensive transfer. One that I was looking at was potentially Lascelles out because he's just obviously not even playing anymore. And then Van Hecken, and it's really not good for this week because it's Spurs away. But after that, he's got Sheffield United, Everton, Fulham, Forest, and he does play in 26 for 4 million as well. I think he could be pretty good. But like I said, Spurs away next isn't the best. But then it means I can keep Konza and then just gain a bit more information because I needed to sort my bench out anyway. To be fair, so yeah, I'm potentially looking at that. And then the other one would be Bowen out. He's just not been performing. And going into Burnley at home does scare me a bit without any Liverpool attackers. Jota in like that, so it'll be a 3-5-2. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see on Gordon. But that is the initial thoughts. Yeah, I could just do Van Hecken. Or another one I was looking at was Reguilon. But then the problem with Reguilon is it will block me because it's 4.4, it's slightly more expensive. So I'd have to do Konza out for Reguilon instead. But I quite like the idea of just bolstering up my defence a bit. So if I do that to there, and then the initial plan was to get rid of Foden. Get rid of Foden for Richarlison. This is game week 27. And then I can finally get Salah back if needed. So that's the plan there. So I could have Salah back, so I've got exactly enough to do that. So it'd be Van Heck and Jota in just to basically cover me. For that Burnley, then Luton and Brentford for that double. And then yeah, I finally need to get Richarlison in after his blank. And then I can get Salah back. So yeah, a bit up in the air at the moment. I'll leave that on there. If you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'll answer them. If you have liked it, please do hit like and please subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you again later on in the week for the team selection and transfers. And yeah, hopefully I'll figure out what I'm going to do because currently it's a bit up in the air. But yeah, after the press conferences, we'll have a lot more information. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. See you later on.